Hey, rock and roll. I found another interesting piece of land for 2 million plus in Plymouth. I know Plymouth is obviously a hot market, but this hasn't sold for a while, and I'm curious to see why this land is priced at this. But first, it's going to be brought to you by Chris Rooney, Home Experts.
Wow. Your Prior Lake slice of paradise awaits.
Nice voice.
They're getting quick. I know. I got a new sexy voice man part of my crew here now.
Hey, what's going on here though? 2.250 for this piece of land. It's not on water. It's not on anything. I don't know why this is so valuable. Only 4 acres too. I mean,
Yeah, I'll bet you it's got to be zoned somewhat commercial or something. Let's see. It's 2.25. What's it say? 4 acres development, close to shops, dining. Yeah, it's. I mean, look at those days, Nick. 1,111 days on Zillow.
oh,
Yeah. So what's interesting, what some people will do is they'll just throw it out there. You never know. Someone might grab it. Someone might see that there's something that's like, hey, this is a great deal. I'd be interested. Does it have like I think on your favorite website, Zillow, it has something about like tax value and stuff, doesn't it? On the bottom, I'd just be curious to see what that is. Yeah, there you go. So it's based at 377. So this is someone that's probably want to try to get it rezoned because it's close to shopping, and they mentioned that. So it might be an opportunity for someone to create something, or maybe someone wants a church, and that's the great location that they want, and it works out. I mean, it's obviously treed. It looks like it's by houses and stuff. How about pulling up? Is there a map that we can look at? We're going to dissect this thing. Okay, so what do we got here? Can you just put it on the full screen? We don't need to see my face. All right. Okay, so it's close to an intersection right there. Now go dive in more, a little more. Okay, so there's obviously some sort of commercial to the top of it. Yeah, there's a baseball field, so there's something right there. And yeah, so I'm sure they're just trying to jump off of, you're somewhat of a residential neighborhood. Go up a little. Go up a little. No, up. Yep. Just go up. I want to see what that building is on top of it. Okay, now down just a little to your left. Okay, there we go. All right, so that looks like that might even be a church. Who knows? But being close to that baseball field, you might be able to get that rezoned. There is a lot of residential, it looks like, around there. So it's not going to be something super crazy, but it's just kind of off the main drag just a little. That looks like lowland, possibly behind there, but it's open. That's lowland for sure, where that water is. But yeah, I don't know. It's someone just maybe trying to get someone to buy into what they're thinking and try to get the most they can. Anytime you throw it out there for 4 years, you don't have a lot of motivation in which to sell. So it's just probably, just trying to get it out there and see if someone will buy into it. And then you got to sell it. Then you got to sell it to the city, try to get them. So more than likely they've had conversations with the city and what they can do. At least they better have, so they can talk to people a little smarter when they call on it. But the other thing too, Nick, is sometimes, realtors want signs on properties, and their name is in kind of a good area there to be able to kind of put up for 4 years. It's almost like a little advertisement and getting people off of it. So if even that agent owns that property? Very possible.
that makes a lot of sense. Have you seen places that are like this, that are on the market for a long time, and then finally they get what they want?
Absolutely. It was one that just happened in Credit River Township. I think it was on the market almost seven or 8 years. And
The same price?
yep, just waited it out. And yeah, so it worked. But eventually someone is going to purchase it. And I always tell my sellers that more towards the residential. It's just like, hey, if we're not super crazy, on it and it's super high, eventually there is going to be a buyer for your house. It's just like, do you want to get it quicker or do you want to wait for it? Because if you wait, we talk about that with pricing, hey, we got to wait for the right person or we got to go find them. And typically you got to go find them by reducing the price.
All right, here we go. What's happening in the Minnesota market? I got some statistics here. I'm going to pop up. Some are kind of interesting. I need to hear your thoughts, the expert's opinion. But first, it's going to be brought to you by Mr. Andy Prasky Preferred Home Team.
You want to know what to expect from the housing market the second half of 2024? Well, here's what experts are saying in their forecasts. First, home prices are expected to climb moderately. We're not expecting sky-high appreciation or falling prices. But if you buy now, you'll still be buying before prices rise even more. Plus, your home would likely grow in value after you buy it. Second, mortgage rates are forecast to come down slightly. Even a small change can have a big impact on your mortgage payment on your next house. And third, home prices are projected to hold firm. So, if you have any questions or want to chat about what this means for you and your move, I'm Andy P., ready to help you on your real estate journey today.
I'm almost like a proud father when he does those, just because it's Andy P. And I know, Nick, you're actually doing his social media, those videos for him. And I know you're my kid and everything, but it's much, much better. So since he's not on, I can say that. So any of you other realtors, you'll help out other people too, right?
Of course. All right, here we go. Let's pop these up here.
Okay. All
Total
right.
listing count, 13,600. Active listing count, 7,000. New listing count, 5,500. Pending listing count, 6,500. Do these stats mean much to you?
Not really.
Okay.
What happens in the market daily matters to me. And what we've had over the last couple of weeks is a real slowdown. And I definitely feel, because this week is already flipped. It was just like we thought. Usually the week before and the week after 4th of July is usually slowdown. It's usually families take the time, let's just chill. Let's just enjoy ourselves. We've had a lot of rain. Interest rates haven't really done anything. Let's just kind of hang out. And we've seen that. But all of a sudden on Sunday, things started heating up again. People may be coming back from the vacations, but we had a lot of people that were looking at houses before. Now they're finally back and after vacation and getting a lot more out and about. So it was actually, I'll tell you what, I've been doing it for 34 years. And some people get really nervous and, oh my gosh, the market's going crazy. I mean, in times like this, when there's slowdown, when there's no reason really for it, and if you're doing your job as a realtor, you know what else is happening in the market. And so it's not necessarily your house's fault. It's just the market in general has just slowed down. And so don't get crazy. You don't have to go nuts and start reducing and thinking that, oh my gosh, the market's going to fall out, because it's not. It's not falling out. The only way it falls out is if rates go crazy, something happens weird in the world, or people start just reducing their price. And I just don't think that's going to happen. I showed a hobby farm last night where I talked to the agent, and she's just, I'm just really surprised of the action. Well, it was one day on the market. They did it coming soon. And there were 7 cards sitting in that house. Which that doesn't show a market slowdown. Obviously, during COVID, it was a little crazier, but that's a lot of showings, and they've already got an offer on it. So don't fret, don't worry. I think we're gonna be fine. I think as we get closer to the election, they can't not make it better, make you feel better, because they want you to vote for them. So I think we're gonna improve, and then depending on what happens on the election, that might sway some people both ways.
Yeah, throughout your career, is this like every other couple of years the panic sets in for the agents, and then you just got to hold for the storm, and you're fine, right?
Yeah, I always kind of laughed, and everyone's, oh gosh, well, just wait until you're in it long enough and you can experience it. I'm like, that's bullshit, man. I want to see it now. I want to be able to react right now, but it's really true. It really is. And I've seen so many ups and downs over the years. And then you see these little blips. And, if you weren't in the business and you didn't get in the business till probably 2019, you don't remember it slowing down around July 4th and kind of that, before and after the 4th, and people just kind of taking their times off. So it's much more soothing for a seller, if you have listings, to kind of, they understand that and prepare them for it. So if they are getting showings, well, hey, that's fantastic. Not many people are. And we have a thing that we can measure what showings are happening in different price segments. So we can see that showings are going up or going down in different price points.
Hi guys, yeah, during the 4th of July week, there was a little slowdown. People were getting a little worried, but I found a graphic that I think would soothe many people's nerves, okay? It's about foreclosures. I'll pop this graphic up here. But first, it's going to be brought to you by Chris Rooney Home Experts.
You need to be soaking up the sun and making waves in Prior Lake this summer. Come on, jump in.
I think I know that model.
I was my daughter's jumping off the dock and my wife's feet are in the water. I told her she might be looking at an OnlyFans account, Andy. What do you think? Those feet? Show Andy the feet again, Nick.
No, he doesn't need to see
play the whole video again.
He doesn't need to see the feet. I think
I'm
everybody knows you're the weirdo in the two of us.
I'm trying to embarrass her. Well, Andy P., what do you think? You probably want some foreclosures since you used to sell so many of them before.
Well, I think, I just did an update last week, which comes out next week, talking about the average U.S. family that owns a single family home has already appreciated $28,000 calendar year so far this year. The average house has $300,000 of equity, and the average house has gained over 5 years 40% appreciation across the U.S. So when they talk about foreclosures, I basically think that's a bell that's already been rung years ago. And when people have that much equity, they have options. And so when they show foreclosures, remember, there's always, that 2.5% of the economy, even in a great economy that will foreclose, people die and they don't have a will or, whatever's going on. And so if you look at this data here, it shows when they had the moratorium on, there was no foreclosures. But look at how low foreclosures have been for how long. And we're still historically way under the radar, because if somebody gets into financial trouble or divorce or whatever, now some people will not allow that to happen. They just will not allow it to happen. They'll sell their property. They'll figure out a plan. There's let's say it's an ugly divorce and the one spouse wants to let the other spouse suffer financially. And so they let the house go into foreclosure. But what a fool. Because if you're leaving that much equity in your property, you've got bigger problems than,
I think what happens, Andy, though, is people are uninformed. They don't know what to do and they freeze. And so if this is happening to you, I implore you to just reach out to an agent. A lot of people, don't want to go open their mail. They don't want to see it because they don't want to deal with it, but it's always going to be worse. If you just call an agent to kind of be able to take care of it, at least you'll know. And then at that point, because there's a lot of people that don't know, they think, oh my gosh, I'm getting foreclosed on, that you're out of there. No, you're not. You have 6 months right of redemption to be able to stay in there. And sometimes you can even stay longer. So just reach out. If you have a problem, reach out. And obviously we can help. We're very in tune with what the whole foreclosure process is and what's happening and what the market is and being able to find different investors.
Well, that's so right, Chris. And I think that there's, a lot of people nowadays, when they get into that kind of situation, just by calling an agent, for an example, and I'll just say, because they're going to explain the options. You have guaranteed offers, you have, investors that are out there. They're going to offer you wholesale, which is going to be, 20% roughly under what the house is really worth. So when you look at commissions, right, this is where people get so hung up and they run and spend millions of dollars on ads saying, we don't charge commissions. Yeah, but you're ripping these people off. So you don't need to charge a commission because you're ripping them off. So there's no fiduciary capacity when you're an investor. There is when you're a real estate agent. We carry that fiduciary capacity where your best interests are in front of our interests. That means that we have to tell you exactly what that house is worth. explain all of your options, and explain what we believe to be as the best option for you and your family. And so, a lot of times that is putting the house on the market traditionally. And you know what? Showings aren't that bad. Getting your house cleaned up to go to market isn't that hard. I mean, Chris, you and I have done this for, I don't know, at least 6-7 months we've been in the real estate business. And since the pandemic.
February
God,
of 1990. But anyways, that's what's happening.
Could you imagine being that young?
I know.
You're probably out jogging right now instead of working on computers.
We've been doing some panel stuff for offices, multiple offices, and talking about the whole NAR settlement and stuff like that. And we had about 50 people at this one, and all of a sudden this one kid walks in, and I'm like, he looked maybe like he was 18. And I didn't get to talk to him, but it was kind of like he was just in his first year of business. It was super cool. And it just brought me back, that this guy's in a room with a bunch of agents that have been there forever. It was exactly the way that I stepped into the business, and just totally lost. This kid looked not as lost as I did, but I think it was really, I think it's neat. I love it when the younger kids get into it.
Well, youth brings, it's interesting how age will bring other people into the industry from just hey, I'm like them, or hey, I think they're the same age competitively even. You have a younger agent and they attract younger buyers. Their friends are younger, and all of a sudden they can get people interested in earlier, which historically has been the best way to do this. Get in the game and hold. And then, like I just told you about the numbers on appreciation. And they're still forecasting, Chris, that the numbers at worst are going to lay flat. But with inflation, you guys, housing is going to keep trickling up because it has to. With the lack of supply, there's nothing for sale. We're at historical lows. I mean, ridiculously off the chart lows for inventory still. And they can't figure out affordable ways to build houses. And everybody's sick of paying $2,000 to $3,000 a month for a stupid apartment that they get nothing out of except for, well, we have a pool and a golf simulator. Who gives a crap? Go get a golf membership at the gym for $100 a month and save yourself, Anyway, I sound like an old man, but I tell you, I just think there's a lot of other ways to experience those amenities without, paying somebody, to make them wealthy. Talk about feeding the big man.
Yeah, true.
Right, Nick?
I don't pay rent. My team handles it.
The life of a professional athlete, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, hold on. I'm
They pay you in beer and pretzels, I'm assuming, right?
Good beer. Amazing beer.
Yeah.
Well, look, I got this Oktoberfest shirt on right now, Andy.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's a perfect shirt for Andy.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Is there a non-alcoholic one?
Yeah.
The guy
Yeah,
also
there's
does is
beer
lose weight
all
and
over.
doesn't drink and just.
No,
I was going to stop by his house last night, but I thought he'd probably be in bed. It was like 7:30 at night, and I thought he'd be sleeping.
Yeah. In Germany, they'd hand a guy like me a passport to get me out of there. You're not welcome here.
You would be the ultimate in a lederhosen. You would run that whole freaking tent. I'm telling you.
I'd scare people away with what I wouldn't wear underneath it.
Andy P.
Here's my Andy P.
All right, boys. I'm probably cutting this out. So you see the house I sent you? The 1.1 in Maple Grove.
The only part that's entertaining.
Hi, guys. I found an interesting property in Andy's neck of the woods. Seems like it's not priced too crazy. You get a lot for the money, but it's been on the market for 47 days. Is there a problem? Is it the market? What's happening? Let me give you a sneak peek of it before we bring it to you by Mr. Andy Prasky Preferred Home Team.
Wondering how long it would take to sell your house in today's market? Here's one thing that can have an impact on your timeline. Right now, the number of houses for sale is growing. The green on this graph shows us that not all growth or active listings is coming from people just putting their houses up for sale. It's also from the homeowners that are sitting on the market a little longer. Those are the active listings in blue. So think of it like this. Imagine the homes that are on the market are like loaves of bread for sale in a bakery. When the fresh bread is pulled out of the oven and smells delicious, everybody wants to buy it. The older stale loaf, not as many people are excited about that. And the same falls true for housing. Buyers are going to be drawn to new listings first. So we want to make sure that your house is priced and staged properly up front so it doesn't stick around and become stale. I can help you with that. I know how to build a strategy to get your house set up for success, to sell quickly, even in a growing inventory market. I'm Andy P., here to help you on your real estate journey today. Hey, like our videos, I'll like you back. Follow our page. I'll love you. And boy, if you made comments, you'd be the best. Whoa. I didn't authorize that.
You missed it earlier when I was doing a different segment, and I was saying I feel like just like a proud father that you actually are doing all this stuff because it's so good. So it's good. Yeah. But I love the analogies, the loaf of bread. You didn't even know at the very end you were talking about don't let your listing get stale. Just like that loaf of bread. Probably you did know that, but yeah.
Sometimes it just spits out, Chris. I have no idea where it's going or where it came from.
I like it.
Hi, boys. What's going on here, though?
Oh, good. We're back on Zillow, my favorite website.
I know. Nick has got a fascination with that thing.
Look at this, though. It's got a pool. It's got a kitchen. It's in Maple Grove. I'm assuming 5,500 square feet. Why is it still in the market after 47 days?
Well, the elevations are kind of struggling. Let me. Can you show us some photos?
Yeah, let's see the front of that house a little better.
Okay, you guys got the stats here. Five beds, 4 bath. You got all the stats.
It's fine. It's worth the money there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just maybe a little different look, but God, there's a pool too. How's it back up to that other house? That's
backs up to their garage.
Yeah. So end load garage. I mean, top appliances. This place don't look too bad to me.
No. Rounded archways. So somebody spent a lot of time and money, energy, effort to make this awesome.
Yeah. Theater room.
Cool.
Little office. Okay, a little more Victorian, maybe.
Actually seems a little on the low side, to be honest with you, price-wise.
They're hiding the worst part at the end, huh?
I'll tell you what, a lot of colors are not good. It doesn't show as good on the internet when you have
that's his closet.
Colors.
Oh, the different colors here. Yeah.
See what I mean? When you have that blue, you can see this. Okay, don't tell me, but this was built in 2004 to 2006. What was it? Just basing it on the tiles.
We'll check after we go through these photos.
Oh, okay. I want to know when this thing was built.
Oh, white room. Trying to get to the back.
Okay, so it's not a walkout.
I think it's a lot problem.
Kind of a full basement. Yeah, I want to see how that once we get to the outside, how it lays out to that other house next to it.
Oh, a green bath.
Yeah, see the colors, different colors.
Okay, here's the outdoor. Oh, it's a cozy little area.
Yeah, they spent the money in the arborvitaes there. Yeah.
That's cool with the fireplace. Yeah, let's see.
See that? Like now, if you turned around, you'd be looking at the neighbor's garage. I'm assuming.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
The fire pit area up there. That might be part of it, guys. Maybe it's just that there's not quite enough privacy going on there that they,
But they're preparing for it. Those trees will grow up.
Sure.
But gosh, nice pool area like that. The outdoor conversation area around the fire pit. I don't think there is much of a yard. It's probably a front yard. I mean, big garage.
Carriage doors. I like it. No,
here we go.
Oh, here we go. See, like, yeah, there you go.
It's an odd lot.
That's your answer right there, Nick. It's just it was set on that lot just a little differently. God, I wish they would have just twisted that house just a little.
Yep. Agreed.
It's interesting. I mean, when you're building, that's what you got to think about. You got to think about what's going to happen on each side of you, right, Andy?
Yes. Look at that the front elevation on there too is a little unusual, I should say. I don't say odd. Yeah. It's got the art. They spent a lot of money on it, but money doesn't necessarily mean that it's nice. It just means he spent a lot of money. Yeah. So like some of those copper topped arches are really cool, but from the street level, when it looks, turquoise blue, maybe neutralizing the color would help. I think, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think that's a house issue. I think that's a
lot.
And I don't think it's a location issue, but it's a orientation type issue there.
Yep.
That's too bad.
Well, and I can't.
Nice house.
We're moving kind of quick there, but I don't know where that street. So you got street on two sides of the house, and then you got a neighbor jammed in your backyard on the one side. The nicest part of your yard is to the right there, where it's open. Looks like to the woods. That's where the pool should have went.
I love
there where it's open.
The mowing lines too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They got a lot of covered surface there too. I don't know. I think it's more of just that market might be searching for some more buyers in that price range. Because that house all day long, if it was new, would be 1.4 up
Feels
this
like
area.
feels good, yeah. And it's $100,000 pool easily. Hey, Nick, I want to know what year that was built. See if I was right.
8.
Oh, I was off.
Oh, you're pretty close.
2004 to 2007. Okay. Yeah. But just those tiles, sometimes you can just identify exactly when they were built just by seeing some of that data. And that's sometimes, like on this one, you get a few of those. Maybe someone wants to upgrade those. It doesn't, you're competing against new construction, even though it's not going to give you as much, but it's all new. And then you have a basement that's a full basement. So there's no walkout, and that bothers some people. I don't mind it because I'd rather have you walk out right to the main yard off the main floor.
What
like
school district was that again, you guys? Did
What's
it say? School district? Was it 279 or was it Maple Grove?
I don't know how to read this Zillow thing.
I don't either. No,
Why don't you go to my website or your website?
because he hates us.
Anything.
Hey
Nick,
guys,
hates
look at
us.
this though. They sold it 177,000 in 2008. Was Maple
That was
Grove?
a lot.
That's just a lot.
Oh, and they built the whole thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Tax assessment.
I guarantee you they have more than 1.1 million into it too.
Oh yeah, those arches are about 1 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it'd be interesting to see the school district up there too. It's Dunleavin, and I know where that is. That's so that would be in the heart of Maple Grove, almost in the Wayzata schools. So Maple Grove has a line where it's kind of interesting. There's Wayzata schools. They can get away with anything down there. It's kind of that, the untouchables down there. It's
like Minnetonka.
correct.
Same
Yep.
thing.
Yep. There's a lot of demand. People will shop and not buy a house across the street because it's not in the school district. So yeah, that's Dunleavin. Yeah. So nice area. Probably just on the edge of Wayzata schools. If you go up to 279, that makes a big difference on price. They go to Maple Grove High School, which is fine, but they're in that district. There's also you have Osseo up that way and whatever. And nothing wrong with Osseo either. I mean, we've got some great athletes coming out of there, but it's just the perception that the parents have of those schools. They want their kid to go to a better school, whatever that means to them, right? So
Right.
I see people putting more value on a Wayzata, even though it's a school with 4,400 kids under one roof, which is ridiculous. And
That's the thing. I mean, Park Center. I mean, to get into Park Center, you gotta. I mean, that's like millions and millions of dollars. That's where Andy graduated from. Is there a statue yet of you?
they can't get the funding because nobody cares.
Okay. I thought. I mean, you were a tight end and everything, like a George Kittle type, Travis Kelce guy.
Yep, pretty much the same.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Before they were Travis Kelce and George Kittle.
They were probably in diapers.
Speaking of that, Netflix just came out with a receivers one, like they did the quarterbacks one last year. It's now the receivers one.
Oh,
And
cool.
JJ Jefferson's on it, but Kittle's on it as well. That guy's nuts. So,
Huh.
anyways, the little tidbit for you.